Morning. How's everyone? Early morning stretches. Really good. All right. So welcome to the first comic stream. Yeah, that's good. It's been a morning. It's been a morning. Pretty good. Just a good fair morning. A little bit of overcast. My sinuses are acting up, but I can't wait to get out in the weather and walk around. All right. So first things first. Uh, our new Lazulite stickers are available in our store. Just gonna put this out there for right now. You can type in exclamation point store to go to it. So there you go. Now we'll put that away for now. Yeah, go check it out. Just look around. All right. Anyway, so let's get started. So this particular one, uh, what I want to do for this stream is to basically finish this up, and then probably do some sketches of the next few if we can, if we have time. So that's what we're doing today. So we're gonna start. This is a sketch layer. I'm gonna start by lowering the occupancy, adding in a layer on top of it for the line work. I usually go with a turnip pen. It just looks better. And I'm gonna get my little references up. Sure I get this correct. So this guy's in the background. It doesn't have to be too detailed, just enough. So right here, there, here. Then we're gonna do the dragon's little snout or mouth, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I think I have a close-up of him. Yeah, he's over here. So I'll make sure he got his broken teeth correct. So this, like this, like that. Just very loose curved triangles basically for his teeth. And this is broken teeth, so this is going to be a little bit different. So make sure we get his teeth at the around the same thing. Yeah. Looks like I didn't go far enough with these teeth, so we're just going to cut them out. We're going to cheat a little bit. Cut these out and move it over. Probably expand them a bit. Here. And then we're going to connect these, fix these up by adding more teeth. There we go. Ooh. All right. Then we're going to do his head, which is a yeah, just a very simple shape. Have the broken horn on top of it. Here. There we go. One of his ears is going to be kind of deflated. Might even go as far as to add like like scars and chop marks in it. Yeah, I mean that's what you get for having coin that adventurers want to take away from you. Just think about it like this. Yeah, I mean, just think about like all of the bosses and stuff you defeat in like Final Fantasy and stuff over and over and over again to grind. They're like, please stop. Please. Please, sir, stop. Or ma'am. This eye is fully closed. I think this is the one that's swollen. Yeah. He's far away, so we don't have to do the crazy detail in the eyes or anything. Just keep it like it is. Alright, now we got the tail. Wrapping around. Alright, put the little horns in the tail. We also made some scratches. This. Here. Now we do his wings. Just go up. Gonna curve it around to the back. Gonna have his bottom flap kind of curved to meet it. Gonna add the muscles, or whatever you call these things, talons. I don't know. Here, go down, right there. Down, curve back around. Go right here. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I don't know the exact anatomy of a dragon, so bones or like muscles, because I know these, you know, probably like, because the wings have to like arch to do turns and stuff like that, to do a maneuver, so they do have some muscle in them. Yeah, that looks about right. And of course, we're going to do the adventurer one, taking his money away. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they say he didn't have bones in them. May have cartilage or which are bones, but but yeah, they have to have something to kind of like move, left and right and stuff like that. Otherwise, they'll just be like airplane wings. Not really good at drawing, or not really, you know, confident in dragon stuff, because I'm not really too much of a high fantasy guy, to be perfectly honest. Like, I enjoy it and stuff, but It's not my cup of tea. But yeah. He is extremely happy. So have these happy eyes. These joyful eyes. That he is getting paid today. All I had to do is walk in and defeat a dragon to get it. I mean, everyone is bad at something when they first start doing it. That's where learning comes in. Like, not every illustrator, or in my case, illustrator, is particularly good when they first start. There's like, I like doing this. I want to do more of it. And they get really, really good at it by doing. So, and that's kind of the thing about it, is that the more you do something, the better you'll get at it, no matter how bad you think you are at it. I mean, I'm very bad at the realistic style of basically anything. I used to be really good at drawing cars and stuff, because that's what I used to do when I was younger, when I first started drawing. And then I just kind of like, I stopped drawing for like 5 years, got bored with it. Wasn't as intriguing to me anymore. But then I started back, and now I draw like cartoons and like anime style stuff, so things just change. But yeah, if you study it, I'm probably not, I'm not really that great still. Not as good as I feel like I was back in the day. I feel like I would be way better if I kept drawing cars. Oop, that is. I can draw a little bit of coins flying out. But yeah, again, you just like, if you like drawing realistic things, then you're gonna learn how to draw realistic things. If you're like cartoony things, like, I know you do. Obviously you help out with this, and a lot of these designs are based off of your ideas, and you do draw them. So like, you like the cutesy stuff, so you're gonna be really good at it. And that's just kind of how it is. The more you draw, the better you'll get. The more at designing something like slimes and stuff like that, the more creative you'll get with them, and the more unique they'll be. Yeah. Speaking of cars, I always want to go back and, because there's a series that I started that was pretty popular, of drawing VTubers in like cars that are based around them. I really like doing that, and that's kind of where I can flex my old way of drawing cars and stuff like that, is to do that. But I can't think of anything else. I've done Gira with the Peel Trident, at the Iron Mouse with the Gremlin, the AMC Gremlin, and I've done Amelia Watson with an Austin Healey as like her ride. But I can't really think of anybody else. I don't really watch VTubers that much anymore, so I've been kind of like out of the know when it comes to stuff like that. I might draw like something uh like Mori or Callie in like a demonic motorcycle thing, but Well, here's the thing. Most of my OCs don't really have cars. That's not. They're not known for their cars necessarily. I mean, one of them has a ride, and that is a motorcycle. Um, which is fine. I like designing that one from the start, like a completely unique thing. Um, but I don't know. It just doesn't fit well. Like I like just researching a VTuber or whatever, researching it, and then like figuring out what would their perfect car pertaining to their character would be. That's what made the Iron Mouse drawing I did of the AMC Gremlin um one of the most popular. It is my most popular post on the internet, period. Because, well, Gremlin and her whole like nickname or whatever that people give her is Gremlin, so it just fit perfectly, and it was just a good joke. Um, Still to this day, one of again on the internet as a whole, it is my most liked thing, period. So nothing has ever came close to it. But yeah, it's like I want to do more of them because the Giro one did really well as well. I really like how that one turned out. But I just haven't found anything yet. Maybe if I find something, if I find another one, I'll think about it. I'll probably do one. But we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so obviously we finished this. They got the coins. They're running away. They're happy. Dragon's all beat up. Might add some like scratches and stuff. Even though you're going to get a close-up shot at it anyway, it's good to just emphasize what you're about to see in the next panel. Next panel is going to be more detailed. So, a little bit of an eye. This. The dragon part of him is not too pleased with what just happened. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's do the nose. This particular drawing, when we go to color it, it's going to be like more of a paintery feel to it. It's not going to be the same as it's not gonna be really the same. It's kind of emphasize all the like, you know, the hurt that's going on. So, you're gonna go with the ear, just like last time. Only we're going to stop that way and then carve it in a bit. Can get a little bit more detail, but not too much. It doesn't need it. Here. Let's go down. Get that cracked horn. Might just add a few things here. Just give it a little bit depth to it. Yeah, poor dragon, but you know, it's kind of his thing. He is supposed to keep his gold. Alright, we're gonna draw this. And then we're going to, over here on this side, draw the broken one. go over here for reference. Sure. There we go. We didn't do it over there, so we might fix it, but over here seems like I wanted some teeth missing to really drive it home. So we can go over here and just kind of erase some teeth. Just erase some teeth. Because you know when you get your face kicked in, you're gonna lose some teeth. There. Just to show it off, and then over here we're gonna really hone in the detail. I mean, when I say detail, I mean barely. It's more comedic effect, really. That's all it is. Alright. We have Slime himself. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit different and make his eye a little bit bigger than his original design, just so it could fit in the expression. Alright, we do the wings. Curve that around instead of doing that. And then we're gonna pick up this and curve around like that. There. There we go. Here, there. 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 Make this a little bit bigger so that fits on his head. Perfect. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, and because I'm a perfectionist, just kind of like mess around like that. Mm-hmm. Because there are some folds on there on each wing. It's kind of like the wrinkly feel. I have it on the original design. It just adds a little bit of. It's like that little bit of depth that it adds to it. Might actually go back and change this eye entirely. Get a little bit bigger. There. Make it like it got hurt. Yeah, I mean, it just takes time. Like, I was going to get over there eventually. Alright. So, this is pretty simple. Here. There. Here. He's shoving himself into the dirt. A little bit of black, but I'm going to go back over it with brown. That. sure like looks like the dirt is flying up. Okay. We'll come back to that one. That was gonna be mostly color. It's gonna bring that one out. This one, of course, though, the final thing. Alright. So, just do a little bit of that. Make sure it's like in deep. And then we're going to go with the mimic. It's pretty easy shape, like a half cylinder shape. I go for with this. But I stop it right about there to give it some breathing room. Because you don't always want to connect them. You want to give them some breathing room. Alright. Unless you're doing an outline like this, then you want to connect them. For this, I'll just do that. And it insinuates that it's a box. Alright. Teeth, and then the slime itself. Alright, we're gonna go here. It's here. And then we go there. Now, since this is a different material, it'll probably be best to connect them. It's only if it's like the same material that we don't connect. So since this right here, this outline is metal, we don't have to connect the center one right here as much. Less is more, what I'm saying. Alright, put some little bit of grooves, let you know it's wood. There we go. So, actually, we should put this. Although I might go back over it with a different brush when we go to color it. There we go. So now we can get rid of this layer and line work is done. Go back below it, below the line work, add another layer, and we're going to go for coloring it, doing the base colors. I have the references over here, so I make sure I get the correct color. That is not the correct color for the entire thing, but it's fine. That. Actually, also gonna be this and this. Like that, and of course the wings are also gonna be that color. Right here. Now his nose is slightly lighter color. Alright, and of course, white for the teeth. and the little horns right here on his tail. Right there. And red for the eyes. Alright. Right over here. Don't necessarily know what color this is, I just thought it looked cool. And it somehow fit. Here. More of a bronze feel. Right there. Right. A little bit lighter for the sword. And this guy, we're just gonna, why not? Or, even better, since it fits with the set, it could be the wizard, but just there. Alright, right here. Might have to hand color these. So it looks like a lot of them won't get all the way through. But color these. Yeah, probably best. Oh. Yep, it's about right. Now, like a light brown, tannish for the sack. This one looks like it's gonna be a little bit troublesome, so I'm gonna color it by hand. Thank you. Yeah. This one can probably go. Yeah, I can just zoop, 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 zoop. There. Speaking of RPGs, or this is based off a D&D campaign, or this set was based off a D&D campaign. I haven't been playing a whole lot of Final Fantasy 14 lately. I used to play it all the time. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to really go back and get into it more. I like the game, and I'm probably never, unless I have to, it is. Well, it kind of is. It's like curving over his stuff. I didn't want to put it like in front because it looks like it's just pasted on there. But this right here, when I go to shade it, will make more sense because it is just kind of sitting on his head. And plus, everybody kind of gets the picture that he's just taking it. He's taking it away. That's kind of what you're really trying to do with it. It doesn't have to be like accurate. Yeah, it has to be super accurate. That'll make sense later on. But yeah. Really like the game. I just want to continue to play it. Met a lot of really good people there. Shout out to the FC. Ran a Savage group for a year. Ran a Ultimate group. Did an Ultimate race, the hardest race in the game, or one of them, for a year. But yeah, I just had to take a break from it. I want to do Palace of the Dead, and I might do. I mean, I'm still gonna do that. That's not. I'm not gonna not do that. But I'm just like kind of taking a little bit of a back seat and just kind of enjoying other things. Like I started back playing Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that. So it's been great. I got into a new game, or it's not really a new game. It's been around for a while, but it was on my Steam wish list for like 2 years, and I bought it when it got on sale, and I haven't played it in like a year or two. Didn't even start it up. Just that is on my wish list. I will purchase it. It was like $3 or $4. Uh, but I've had it on my Steam for years. I never really played it, but I decided to pick it up and play it because I'm like, I want a bicycle game because I really want a bicycle in real life, but I can't afford one in real life. So I was like, I'll just get one in a video game. So I used to play a lot Lonely Mountains Downhill, which is a really good game, very casual, very 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 just laid back, and I really enjoy it. Um, but you know, it is what it is. Uh, and I'm not really in that mode where like I'm so casual. Like I'm in like I need some like I don't know what you call it. Like I need something more action packed, but not too action packed. Um, right now, so basically it's been I played a so basically got a game called Descenders, which is again I've had on my wish list forever because I really wanted it. I thought it looked cool, and then I finally got it, and then I forgot about it for 2 years or so. Completely forgot about it, and then I got it again, and then I was in the bike craze looking at them. It's like I remembered I had it, so like, oh, I haven't tried this yet. Why not just try it? And it's addicting. It's very 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 like it's like that. It's a very strange. It's like it's not competitive because of course I have Guilty Gear for competitive stuff to get that fixed. I'm gonna turn this white actually because that's what it's gonna look like. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see everything, but it's also very bright. Um, but basically, I wanted something that is like not competitive, but also like can have like the octane feel or whatever. And Lonely Mountains Downhill was a more relaxing bicycle game. It's very very laid back. But I wanted something a little bit more actiony. So so Descenders is something I downloaded. That's why I want to try it, and it's been an absolute blast ever since. Um, it is super fun. I do highly recommend it if you can get it. Um, if you can get it or whatever, either on sale or buy it full price, I do recommend it. It's laid back, but it's got that enough to keep you going if you want to do like tricks and stuff like that. And also, I like the way their loot system works. So the loot is the whole point of the game is procedurally generated like courses and stuff. So every course is different. Their loot, they have tons of different like cosmetic loots. I think that's their only loot is cosmetics. Um, and none of them are purchased with like you don't go. There's no microtransactions or anything. It's just you play the game long enough, you will eventually get everything. That's kind of how it works, which I like. So if you don't have something now, you can get it later. And basically, it's when you go into career mode and start doing the tracks, the more points you get, the more rare the item you'll get at the end of it. At the end of your run, which is at the end of your run, or if you wipe out or whatever, the more points you have, the better the item you'll get, the rarer the item you'll get. So it is it's set up like a roguelike. So you just go until you lose all your lives. You wipe out too many times, you lose all your lives. So it's a pretty laid back chill game. What if I let's get a different color. Or I can just do this. There. Just so that's easy to read. Usually people have bonus signs in like white with red, but I wanted to do differently. This is on wood. But it might change the whole background to like a different color. But it is wood, so I'll just keep it kind of like that until we go to color it. It might change it up a bit. Now we can see all the little mistakes and doodads we have here. That gray doesn't show us. All right. Anyway, but anyway, that's one of the games I've been playing. And I might stream it at some point just as a bonus, like chill, relax stream. Because it is one of those games where you can just sit back and talk while you do stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Descendants it's a ton of fun. It's a bunch of goofy stuff. It is also multiplayer, so you can chill out, hang out with your friends while you play. So it is like that. All right. So let's go back to shading this in. Doesn't need much shading, to be honest, because these are slimes after all. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting back into Final Fantasy to do the Palace of the Dead runs. I just need more. I just need more of the sustaining potions in order to do them. Start actually doing full runs. But it is what it is. But basically, I'm kind of in this point right now. Yeah, maybe we'll get to play. I mean, could probably bring it up and see if it's on sale, because I mean, the fall sale is coming up pretty soon. Fall sale, so in October, so you might be able to get it then. If I could spell the dang thing. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's not on sale right now, sadly. It's still $25, which I think it is worth it, because I've put 30s, almost 40 hours into the game so far, and it's just it's great. It's great. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I still play it. I'm not done playing. I played it yesterday for a little bit. So I'm not completely done playing it. It's just now that I've got the loop and stuff like that, it's just I'm just kind of chilling out for a bit and only doing runs and stuff like that every now and then. Like I'm not like completely done with it. It's like a game that comfort game that I'm probably gonna go back to on occasion. But Final Fantasy is something that is also kind of a comfort game. Like I can go hardcore in it and go into raiding and do all that stuff, or I can just chill out and just exist. But yeah, one bad thing about Final Fantasy is that I pay for it monthly, and I don't have a whole lot of money at the moment. So it is one of those things where I have to be like I want to play it, or I want to take a break from it, but I also want to get my money's worth because I don't have the funds enough to really, you know, do that sort of stuff anymore. Anyway, it's fine. Like I'll eventually get it. I'll eventually do it and do Palace of the Dead solo, get that title, and then try to figure out what I'm gonna do next. Because I am a very goal-oriented person. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like I want to always have it there um, when I need it. Like that's kind of the thing. It's like I feel like getting on and doing this, and I feel like getting on and doing that. It's like if I have to like, oh, I have to pay $15 to re-up my sub. I'm like, ah, I could do that, but I can also like pay $15 to like go out on a nice lunch, have a nice lunch one day, or what have you, or get another game that I can play unlimitedly. So it kind of like it gets to the point where I'm not playing it because I don't want to put $15 down to play it again, unless I have like, oh, I have all these things I want to do. Um, which is kind of what I'm afraid of when I'm doing Palace of the Dead. Is that I am not. Is that like if I complete it, that is right now the hardest thing to accomplish in the game is a solo run of Palace of the Dead. After completing Uwu and doing one of the ultimates, I don't really care about doing the other ones because it's just a hassle to keep people together and everything. It's just a lot to do, and it's something that like unless I have a static, I want to do again. So I enjoy my time doing it. I met some really cool people. They're great. But it's still like, eh. I rather not right now. But maybe one day I'll do it again. Hopefully. But right now I want to do Palace of the Dead, and I'm afraid that after I finish Palace of the Dead, I won't have anything to strive for in the game anymore, and I'll become bored of it because I don't have a goal. Like I have to be constantly challenged, in order to keep myself interested in certain things. Like Final Fantasy, yes, I can go on and do, get on and do, you know, get on and do like crafting, gathering, and stuff like that. And if I want to, that's fine. I can do that. It's really fun and really relaxing. But it's getting to a point where, I have to be constantly challenged with certain things like that. But yeah, it's kind of a dilemma. I know it's like a first world problem dilemma, but it's one of those. It's like I like the game. I like the people there. It's just it's kind of scary thinking about it because I uh, I quit the static, quit leading the statics and stuff like that, and people are still there and everything. It's just I'm afraid I might lose the opportunity to hang out with these people anymore because I'm not doing raiding or not playing the game. So. But yeah. But like again, it is what it is. I mean, there is a new deep dungeon coming out in the next expansion, so maybe it'll be harder to do solo than Palace. So I'll just do that. Maybe. Um, but I'm looking forward to that. And plus, the story is still good, and I still want to know what's going on in the story, and that's going to keep me around a bit. So there is still things that are going to keep me around. It's just, I want to be challenged. Yeah, yeah. Unlike most games, Halo Infinite, uh, it's very very good at keeping up with keeping up with stuff and getting new content. Like the last patch, they put Island Sanctuary, which I'm max rank in, and right now I'm saving up the currency, the Crowleys, to get the bike. Very close to it. I think I'm 18,000 out of 24 that I need. So a few more days of working with it, and I will have the bike. But then again, I'll basically be done with that content until until the next part of it comes out, which is I think in 5.5. So, all right. So this one right here, although I've did it with the generic shading, we're gonna make it a little bit more hyper realistic. So we're going to delete the regular shading for now. So we're going to focus on the gold. Some people I think I used like watercolors to make it like more scenic or whatever. So, but basically we're going to turn this on, and then we're going to make it a little bit darker. That's too dark. There we go. Just a little bit down here. And then we're going to kind of blend those in together. Just kind of give it that little bit of darkness on the outside. My thing's beeping. All right, and then of course we can add some white stuff to it, or sheen. I don't like that much. So this. Yeah. I think that's a little too much sheen. So maybe just be simple, just that. Maybe we go to the soft brush, go to the center, take that, I'm going to make it a little brighter, and then just fade it in. This probably works a lot better. Just keep fading it in and just keep shrinking it. I take this. this and just there. So we have that, and then we can now do the dragon parts. So we're going to start off with the skin, or well, obviously it's skin, but you know. So we're gonna go. Let's go with this one. All right. So let's do this, and let's make it a little bit darker to kind of give it that felt look, because it may or may not be an actual costume. It's a mystery. Yeah, this is working really, really nice right now. Very, very good. So make it darker down here. Alright, put some little bit of stuff right here. Right here. Go a little bit right here. A little bit right around there. Because it's not going to be perfect. Right? A little bit. Here. Right? They're going to do like before, kind of bring this back a bit. Kind of blend it. But we're going to be we're not going to be very smooth with it because it is supposed to be kind of busted. Kind of blend it into this right here. Yeah. And this is top right here. Right. Let's do his snout. Alright, so we're gonna start back to the running color brush. So we're gonna start here. We're gonna go a little bit darker right here. Boop. Yep. Boop. Some more darker here, and then we're gonna blend it in. I'm gonna push it up a bit, a little more than what we should. Make sure it's curved, and then we're gonna push it back a bit, kind of fade it in like that. All right, then we're gonna go with a bright. And we're gonna again push it further down because we're gonna push it right back up. All right, we're gonna push it right back up like that. We're gonna try to smooth it out as best we can. There. All right, here we go for the dark one again, just around the nostrils, showing that it has like depth to it. Gotta fade that in a bit. Trying to get that perfect shade. Oop. Hey, Garen, how are you today? Or this morning? Just got done talking to you not too long ago. All right. So with the eye, we're gonna go a bit here. Well, it's more of a glassy feel. Dishes. Yeah, I gotta do dishes after this, so I feel you. So, bit of a soft. Yes, I'm on TV. Never thought I'll actually be on TV. Actually, I did. Okay. Oh, holidays. They're coming. They're coming. Oh. Hope we're able to make something out of it before I have to pick up a secondary job. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna go a little bit down. We're not gonna use this. We're gonna use that. With this right here. Like so. Alright, so go with the running color blush again. Gonna go kind of back down through here. Ooh, a purplish hue. I think it's pulling some of that purple down, which is nice. That's what we want. Alright. Here. Smooth it out a bit. Yeah, I'm great to hear. It's great to hear that you're doing well, Garen. Oh. Alright. Let's turn up in. We don't need that. We need the watercolor. Here. Alright. Put. I should probably go with a hard airbrush. here. Right here. I'm gonna go down. So the shading's a little weird on this. We're gonna fix that real quick. So we're gonna go back to our turnip pin, go back to thing, and then just do it like this. Going to go back and erase this right here so it looks normal. Yeah, I think about having a colored background. Oh, working at bits. Let's see if I can get. Probably best for like a darker background, so I can kind of show off. Let's see. Go here, dark. Or, even better, go dark on the outsides. What I've heard from people who've done Abyssos is actually like most casual groups or people who are doing it through Party Finder are knocking them out pretty fast this time around. A lot faster than the last set. Cause I know that Blitzy came I think he was last time I talked to him he was on 7. That was last week. He was on 7 going into 8. So but then again, I haven't really did much with it. I've been kind of taking a break from this tier. I mean, that's what I've heard from people who are doing it. So but I think it's like 8 is hard. They had to tone it down to make it easy or make it simpler. Say this because the health was insanely high. Yeah, but I think that's the only one they reduced. Everything else is fine. I thought that was hilarious. They reduced it. Those some lines. Yeah. It seems like I picked the wrong tier to take a break because everything is like easier and well not easier but like just better overall in terms of like the fights and stuff like that. Yeah. No. I mean, it's easier now that the item level is higher. Yeah, like I said, some of this seems like it's like not even it's like a joke. But like I heard that the eighth one is still relatively, it's more like a puzzle. So now that the answers are out there, it should be easy going. And also they lowered the DPS check a lot. So it's a should be a lot easier. All right, let's hmm. Do I want to go with black? Kind of want to go with a different color for this. Yeah, that's not how you spell it. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Usually when you put stuff like that, I'm like, oh, I probably spelled it wrong again. Let's see. Now I need to. I don't know if I should change the color, so I don't. Probably keep the color like that because I'm going to outline it anyway. Go to rasterize. Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to go to free transform. Oh, that is not. Okay, that is way too intense. However, however, it can go outside. All right, now we're going to go. That's not that. You go and just do this. Oh. Yeah. I've been looking forward to playing VHS for a little while. Just haven't got around to it past the tutorial. Outline section. Let's go with black for the outline. Just go up a bit. 6, 5. There we go. There. Hmm. Oh, let's see. Let's add like a slight gradient. Oh, that is not the right gradient. There, this one. So I want this thing to stick out, but I also don't want it to like get too much. Not really good with the words and such. Let me see something. Go into my texture folder. Yeah, slimes don't talk. That's why I like them. They don't have anything to say. So let's see what we can do. Oh, that's gonna be. Oh no, never mind. Works pretty well. Better than I thought it would. Make another one over it. I'm gonna try this, see if it doesn't break my computer. So I'm gonna add the comic dots. Oh no, no. Go back to there. Go back to the comic arts. Then I'm going to multiply and lower the occupancy. There we go. Or if that looks too busy now. About the gradient erase. Let's try that. So that it's I wonder if I could change them to a different color. Oh. Don't know what I'm doing, but I am gonna check it out. Never tried this before, so no. Okay, well that doesn't work right. Just get rid of that. I'll keep this. I'll keep it in there. I was trying to change them to white dots instead of black dots, but it didn't work that well. Anyway, back to doing the comic stuff. All right, so go in here, yeah, here, and then we're gonna go continue this. Continue it. The mimic finding the help wanted sign that they so lovingly put out there. Here. Give him a bit of a little shadow because he's inside, obviously. This doesn't have to be as detailed as the rest of them because people kind of know what this is. There we go. There we go. Right. Put the shading for this, which I think is on a separate layer. Okay, so the bottom one is on a separate layer. The top one is not, so it actually has it, but we don't need that. We just need just a little bit of A little bit of this. Now we gotta find out. Okay, it is on that layer. So we're gonna have to be very careful. Alright. You got this. Alright. Go with black and just go back over it. There we go. Looks fine. Stay on this layer. We can probably add some little bit of things to it and probably cut this out a bit. Here. Make it look like it's more like worn down. There we go. Alright, get rid of the colors here. There. If we really wanted to, we could probably make it look like it's actually written there. So we'll erase all this. Okay, that is on there. Just take it and just color over it. Yeah. That's kind of what I was going for. It's like just making it look like it's, you know, it is still a thing. So what? Oh, it still has. Get rid of that. We don't even need this anymore. Right there, and then we could just there. Looks like a actual wooden thing now. And we can do one above it and do white because we're going to do that, and then we're going to put a more of a rough pencil here. Yeah, probably would be best. The garb paint and apply. That's what is this one? Oh, that looks nice. I gotta be. Paint it like you would. Right. So we probably make this a little bigger. Bring up the lasso tool. And probably adjust this, move it up a bit. Yeah. I think it looks good. And we can duplicate it, make it brighter, and then we can go in. I can go in with texture pen. Make it, give it that paintery effect. for that drip. Oh, went too far over. Thank you. I think it looks okay. I've had a lot of practice with this. Because I thought, like, I know there was a brush on Photoshop when I used to use it that that did it automatically. It was like generated, so when you splat like that, it just start to run down. I knew that those developers were bringing it over to Clip Studio, but they couldn't get it to work right. So it just didn't. It's just static letters that just have a drip going on it, sadly. Yeah. All right. Gonna just have it dripped in like this. Come out like that. Connect that. There we go. Pretty much. Looks like it's painted now. Alright, so we go back here, put some highlights on this. Go back to turn up. There we go. Here, of course, it's a slime, so it always has to have it. Right. Yeah, if you really wanted to be a little bit more into it, then where is that? 45. Yeah, we could just or make like a drop shadow underneath it if you wanted to, but why not? So yeah, not completely done with it just yet. Just wanted to get everything settled. Alright, let's go to pick screen color. Let's get that red. So a little bit easier to do. There we go. Probably go in, do some of this line work right here. Probably gonna remove the slam for a second. Probably something we can do. Let's just cut it right around here. Get all of this right here. Probably add this to it as well. And go to motion blur. wonder if we can do multiple things. So we have this, then we'll take that, and then yeah, the thing above it. We'll go back to the lasso tool, add this into it, or try to. There we go. And go to filter, blur. Ah, we can't. Just cut it out. So we can't do it one at a time. So we'll go start with this, blur, motion. Alright, now we're going to lower the strength of it by a lot. See if we can get it just the right angle. Alright, now we're going to do keep this, then we're going to do that. Motion. We're also going to oh, that's way too much. Yeah, didn't look as good as I thought. However, we could cut this entire thing out, duplicate it, and it might be able to do it. Let's try that actually. So we're going to cut this entire thing out, copy and paste, so that is on a different layer. We're going to move that up to the top, and then we're going to do the same thing for the shading layer. We're going to copy and paste, and we're going to move it up here so that it's on top of it. So now we have two layers. Alright, let's get rid of these. So now we have this layer as well as this layer on top. What we could do is go and just completely delete it, remove it, which we can, and we probably will. So we're gonna first of all, we're gonna copy paste this one. That's the line layer. Move it up here so that it's good, and then we're gonna go here and just remove it. So basically, when we remove this, we don't have a thing anymore. And then we're going to combine these layers together into one, and then we're going to motion blur all of it. We need to figure out. There we go. Alright, we're going to be smooth. Trying to figure out where. It seems like this right here. Yeah. So we can just lower the strength, though we're not going to go that crazy with it. And then we're going to take it and move it up. And erase all the top. Oop. And then we go add the slam back in. This is nothing, so why don't you just remove this? And it gives a little bit of an effect. It's not the best, but it gives a little bit of an effect. A little bit of effect. Alright. So, that's pretty much it for this particular one. Actually, we need to do a few more things. So, we're going to add the highlights to the first panel. Let's go ahead. We're going to do that. Here. Very happy. And the sad dragon. All right. There we go. All right. Then it pretty much about does it for this one. There's one thing I need to do. You go here and change the date in which it was made to the 21st. So I've made a few of them before then, as you can see. Made about 3. This is the 4th one. And of course, we're going to add the name. This is number 4. I don't think it needs to be. There we go. This is number 4. So. You have to go back to our document that we used to make these things to see what the next one's going to be that I'm going to probably start on. Alright. Yeah, this one's called the Dragon Sword. I like it. Like that. There we go. A Dragon Sword. Earth, Wind, and Fire placed in the background. I mean, I actually have the Earth, Wind, and Fire slimes. Alright. So that is this one. We have just enough time to do some sketches on the other ones for lunchtime. So, go ahead and get that set up real quick. Okay. I just remove this to that. Yeah, it's not gonna move. It's just stay right here. Pretty much. Alright, so put it back down to where I'm not blinded. And then we're going to make the folder for 5. Okay, let's see what else we have on our docket that we came up with. Okay, I think I got a good one. I think this one's really cool. Okay. You can go ahead and change the name of it. Oop. Five. Alright. Alright, I think I have... I think I got it. Like this one's gonna... how I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to probably use black this time around because that showed up a lot better. Go to dark pencil. Yeah, this shows up a lot better. Take some more sip of my water. Alright, a little over 10 minutes until top of the hour to lunchtime. Let's see if I see how much I can do in that amount of time. Might go over. I don't know. Getting kind of hungry because I didn't have breakfast this morning. Okay, so let me get my big sheet of all 50-something slimes we've done so far. So make sure we can get the right one. There we go. Alright, this one has to do with sport. So. No, don't do that. Alright. Okay. So now let's see. Let's kind of sketch this one out. Let's see. How about we're gonna do it at a 100-meter dash training. So sport is training. This is not gonna be. This is gonna be very, very loosely drawn. It's just trying to get the idea across. Sport is training for the 100-meter dash, so they have those little leg things right here. The little things that prop your back foot up when you start. Of course, we're probably going to have him as like a tilt forward a little bit, like he's getting ready to run. Yeah, something like that. We'll fit it back later. We're not too worried about it. So, class sport, he's ready to go. He is training to be the fastest. And then over here, you know, we're gonna probably have a sound effect of just bang. Down to him to go, make him have him do a dash. And of course, he is whipping by everybody. We might have a background that we're going to probably just heavily blur, make it look like it's actually going fast. So he is going incredibly fast right now. Incredibly fast. Oh, sorry about that. He is determined to be the fastest. I don't know how slimes run, so this is going to be kind of an interesting thing to work on. No, we're not going to outline. We're going to transform, free transform. He is speeding, he is scooting. And then it happens. We're going to copy and paste this, move this down here. Because I want it to be sort of the same. Trying to see how we fit it into multiple panels. Into only 4 panels. So that's gonna be the hard part. Right. So he's a speeding. He's looking ahead. Then his expression changes because there's a swoosh that goes right by him. See like a blur. Go right by him. Speeding along. I mean that is a good point, but I kind of want the focus to be on him and not any of the other stuff that's happening in the background. So this starts. See, once you see the end, you'll know. Oh, he's going for a ball. That's it. So you see this whoosh. Just immediately just goes straight by him. Then it turns out it was just a dog trying to get his ball. The fastest slime in the world isn't fast anymore. Or have him be like a happy Doge. Good old happy Doge. Put lines to insinuate happiness, because they don't have mouths. Has the ball in his mouth. He is a happy slime dog. Or in him. But, you know, we have to make it seem like normal. He has it somewhere. He can't just go and put a ball into it. Like, it just wouldn't make sense to these things if like he just has the ball, like, I guess where a mouth would be if he had one. I don't know. These things are weird. They don't have to necessarily stick to a certain thing. Yeah. Be the ball. In the background you see sport. Yes, be sport grumpy at the Doge for beating him. have like a like this to show off he's angry. Of course, there'll be a little more looking at them. Like this, like that. Yeah, pretty much is how it's gonna go. I mean, whatever this face is right here. Or we could do something really interesting and put... I would say if we had another panel, we'll put the dog in the first place and slime in second place. And sports slime in second place. But maybe for now, we'll keep this and we'll just put like... put like a first place medallion, like a ribbon or whatever. Yeah, ribbon. I think it'd be better. First place ribbon. Right here. And then right there. I mean, of course, we'll clear it up when we actually go to line art it. First. And he gets a second place medal, which is not as cool. Now that I have it like this, I think... I mean, this would be easily a 6-panel comic. So... because it'll be this one right here with him running. These two panels be normal. It'll add another panel of like this one, but like with the ball going across of it. And this panel right here will show up. And then this panel would be towards the end. And then we'll probably have another panel of like first, second, and third place. But I want to keep it to 4. So we're going to try to optimize it, make it... Yeah, I mean, I did want to do 6-panel ones, but I want to kind of keep it within this format for now. And see if I can do it. If I can't, if I think it works better with the 2 extra panels, then we'll do it. We'll add those 2 extra panels, because these panels would still be the same. Excuse me. This will be the same. There'll be nothing wrong with it. But if I think the joke comes across clear with 2 extra panels, we will. We want to kind of keep it to a minimum as much as we can. But I think everyone kind of gets the joke. If this was like brown with like this the brown and the whatchamacallit in it anyway, I think we'd kind of get the joke that, oh, it's just a dog outrunning it. Because that's kind of the joke. Go ahead and save that. Yeah. Alright, well, I am getting extremely hungry right now. I didn't have breakfast this morning like I should have. I was too busy doing other things this morning to get breakfast, so I'm going to get me some lunch. But this is what we did today. We did this, and we did the sketch for the next one. So we did pretty good. Put it right here. Yeah, you did pretty good. We did pretty good today. I think I probably want to do more on here. Just kind of adding like, well, if we didn't add the swelling and stuff right here, we could probably do that really quick. Purple. So we could probably add. That's not purple. I'm gonna get. Yeah. So it'd be more bluish actually. Yeah. More of a blue. Have some little bit of red right here. Maybe some dirt. They look like they're dirty. There we go. Looks a lot better. Really emphasizes it, him being beat up and stuff. So, I like the way this turned out. And now I know how much long it takes to do a comic stream from start to finish. Not too long. It does, but I don't know. I don't think it looks good because it is a more of a golden style slime, and slimes don't really get bruises and stuff. So I think it's funnier that the costume has all the bruises and stuff on it, and not the slime itself. The slime has scratches and stuff. Obviously, it's beaten up, but it's not like swelling and everything. So anyway, we did pretty good. Did good today. And I'm going to be shelling one last time before we go to have a look at our store. Exclamation point store, exclamation point socials to see all of our social media stuff and keep up to date with everything. We have a ton of stuff for sale. And we're adding new stuff every single Monday. So if you want any of these, just take a look. If not, that's perfectly fine. Alright. I also have a YouTube channel that I upload all the VODs to. So you can go, if you miss a stream or whatever, you can go look at them on the VODs. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. And all that other stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you feel. Tell me everything that's bad, everything that's good, what have you. So I can continue to improve and get better at this. Alright. Well, anyway. You guys have a good rest of your day. I'm going to, keep this on. You guys have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. Thanks, guys, for coming out. Gary, good to hear from you again. Hopefully we can play some VHS soon. I think this weekend we have plans to play it, so I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah. Alright. Good night, everyone. Or good morning, afternoon, whatever.